um, as an annual permit requirement, we do need to do our typical MS4 presentation, which is quite similar to last year because nothing has changed in the MS4 program in terms of the requirements from DEP or really what we're doing. So I'll try to be quick. And I did add in one thing that's new this year, so I'll try to focus the most on that. So moving on here to our next slide. Just as a reminder, the MS4 program, it originates from the EPA, and then DEP is in charge of that for the state, and a lot of the responsibilities are actually taken on by the municipality. And really the ultimate goal is to be aware that stormwater can be a source of pollutants that get into the waterways, and that we need to manage those to minimize the pollutant load to waterways. And the way that happens is there are a number of these minimum control measures that are part of the township's MS4 plan. And a few of them I'll just touch on here. So public education and outreach, that would be a meeting like we're in presentation like we're doing tonight. Public involvement and participation, that would be something like the tree planting events and watershed cleanups that the township has organized. 4 and 5 relate to construction site stormwater control. So number 4 is when the site is being built and all the earth is disturbed. And number 5 is the permanent stormwater management that is in place at the end of construction and stays that way and is maintained over time. The township's MS4 program in general involves a pollutant reduction plan where stormwater controls are constructed to prevent things like sediment and phosphorus and nitrogen from getting to the waterways, because that harms the waterway health. We're also trying to intercept things like metals and pathogens that are bad for the aquatic life. The specific types of systems that are used to achieve those goals, you may have heard of some of these. They would be rain gardens, stream bank restoration, and riparian buffer plantings, so new trees and vegetation along streams and waterways. And we're still part of the same permit cycle, essentially. So the pollutant reduction plan was achieved already by the township for this permit cycle, and that was through the construction of the rain garden and bioswale at Park West. So that was estimated to have removed 24% of sediment loading and 18% of the phosphorus loading that was directed to the BMP. So the stormwater comes in and it gets treated and removes all of those pollutants before discharging to the waterway. And then this is just a summary of those values for the pounds per year, the pollutant reductions associated with that BMP construction. So the new item I wanted to mention this year is that the township has a sort of an ongoing project called the Cown Meadow Park, and that is converting some maintained lawn area that the township owns from maintained grass lawn to a meadow. And so this type of conversion has a number of benefits, and some of them relate to stormwater. So the types of plants in the meadow, they have much deeper root systems, and they help to alleviate compaction and soak a lot more rainwater into the ground, so that during a large rainfall, a lot more water just stays on the site and soaks in rather than running off to downstream. And if you use these types of meadows, you can even do some interception of upstream runoff and get filtering, and the plants can uptake those nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen through their metabolism and use it for growing plants instead of getting to the waterway where that causes problems. And then just some other benefits. These aren't necessarily directly stormwater, but the meadow conversion has a lot less air pollution because there's so much less mowing. They're very attractive, so it's aesthetically pleasing, and there's a really great habitat boost for animals and pollinators. And we also don't need to really use fertilizers and pesticides, so that prevents those from getting to the stream as well. So to move specifically to what the township has been doing, and Abby Swan has been spearheading this project, and it has 2 acres so far. One, the red area was first and the blue area was second. The township building is down here in the bottom left, just to give you some context. And this is Municipal Drive running north and south on the left side of the drawing. So these areas of grass were converted over to meadow by the township and volunteer projects. So you can see, instead of just a plain grass lawn, we have like a wildflower meadow, which is has all of those benefits that we previously described. And this is just a picture in the bottom right of volunteers helping to seed that. So that's been a great project that the township has been undertaking that has a lot of benefits for the waterways and all those other benefits we described. Just as a reminder for what residents can do to help keep waterways clean, we can keep cars maintained so they're not dripping oil, can clean up after pets in your yard, and if you are seeing any sort of polluted discharges like oily water entering streams or anything like that, you would call the township so that they can get a look at that and so that it can be addressed so that the pollution can be stopped. And so some of those signs would be if you have a strong petroleum or chemical smell, if you see any sort of fish kill or oily sheens on water, those would be items of concern. And then other ways that citizens could help, they could be involved in things like watershed cleanups and tree plantings and meadow conversions. So just keep an eye on the township website. I know that gets updated when those events are being planned. So that was the MS4 presentation for tonight. So thank you very much for your attention to that.